a lot of us in our projections are saying, oh, by June we would have completed the fight against it. But FIFA is even looking beyond November.
Definitely. I mean, so if you have an expert group advising, and that's exactly what FIFA and CAF does, okay? So these decisions are being taken, but then actually the inputs come from the expert groups on the ground, okay? So they ask you what's the situation. And I was saying, if you understand pandemics, okay, now globally, you have more than 1 million people with this COVID-19 disease.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time I checked, it was close to 1.2 million, okay? You have over 60,000 people dying, okay, of this COVID. Tell me, what on earth makes me feel that in June, all these almost, 1.3 million people have either resolved or haven't passed it on? And come to Ghana, for instance, we are doing 214.
Yeah, 240.
Basically, I mean, we've heard that about 3 days ago. New figures will definitely come up.
Yeah, because we understand that about 15,000 test results will be released this week.
And we haven't peaked yet as a nation. So tell me, at what point in time do you think somebody or WHO can come and say that the world is COVID-free? Or Ghana, we can say Ghana is COVID-free. Do you know how many years it took for it to be announced that Ghana was polio-free? Polio started when I wasn't born. Okay, and we had polio, but then we were just declared polio-free just a few years ago at the end. So COVID is going to be around. And if you understand the transmission pattern, the spread pattern, which is simply mass gathering, then FIFA and CAF, in their wisdom, knows that, hey, if you have a tournament in November, cancel. So when I read that, I said, oh, FIFA is even canceled the tournament in November. What do you think can happen between now and November? Meaning the year 2020 doesn't look good for that. Because before you go for a tournament, the various countries need to prepare. Now there's no football activity. Players can't even come together to do any meaningful training. So what kind of quality football would you be seeing? So at what point in time would it be declared safe for football activities to resume? What point in time? And there's going to be a lot of travel restrictions globally in the year 2020. Countries like Germany, US, UK, South Africa, they will be asking
even Ghana, we have closed our border. We're in the third week of the border.
And when we even finish that and the planes begin to move, a lot of protocols will be put in place before you can board an airline. And in our borders, you get to our borders, what I know will be happening if we lift the embargo and all that. If you are coming in, there will be a mandatory testing. When we move away from this testing that takes about 24 hours or 4 days to get results and get to the smaller kit test where you can do it and within 2-3 minutes or 15 minutes get results, they will be put at the various airports. Once you get there, we will have to test you before you enter. If we get a breakthrough with a vaccine, then that would be what the solution to all these. So when you come, you either be asked to show your card that you have been vaccinated, or we will mandatorily give you the vaccine before you enter any country. So if you look at all these dynamics, then you probably have reason to feel that every activity, any sporting activity, not necessarily football, I mean, there's athletics, there's judo, any kind of activity that brings people together, you would have to look at it again. Assuming Ghana tends to be a bit free, there will still be people walking around with a bit of COVID here and there. And if you don't take some of these preventive measures, washing your hands and all that, again, as a medical doctor, you sit in the hospital, somebody comes, keeps sneezing and coughing on you, you get COVID. Take it back to your wife and kids. Then another kind of pandemic sparks. And we've had such happen. There are times when you feel that, oh, we have dealt with this particular, go to the north, meningitis. You feel that, oh, we have dealt with this particular disease, only to realize that from a particular community, something has sprung up. So it's going to be not an easy decision for health authorities to say that, okay, now mass gatherings like at the stadium, and the movement. You see, football comes with a lot of movement also. If it is the local league, traveling from Takwa to Wa, if it is the international scene, traveling from Ghana to Cameroon to play. So there's a lot, and football has a big role to play when it comes to the preventive measures. And that's why I feel FIFA and CAF, and of course the GFA, despite all the monies being lost out of these cancellations, still feel it is the best decision to take.